Welcome into Posca Club, everybody. Thank you very much for joining. It's Friday the 13th at the end of this week. So I thought we'd draw zombies all week. And you know me, I love drawing a zombie. Main reason I like drawing zombies is if you make a little mistake, doesn't really matter. It usually looks a little bit better if you make a mistake on a zombie, if you add an extra lump in here or there. If you're doing a drawing of your best friend and you add an extra lump in, they're usually pretty offended. So that's why I like drawing zombies. It's very liberating, nice, easy way of drawing. Today's zombie is brought to you by Chump Magic. Tash was very helpful and found this fantastic looking zombie, which I've never seen before. So we're going to take this Chump Magic zombie. We're going to break it down a little bit because it's quite a complicated one. There's loads of little bits in there. And you know me, I like to talk too much. So we're going to break it down a little bit, make it a little bit simpler. But what I thought I'd do, in the Korp Academy, I don't do courses generally. It's just a 1 hour lesson. We start and finish one piece in one lesson. What I thought we'd do with this one is for this Posca Club and for the next Posca Club, they're all going to be on this one picture. So in today's Posca Club, we're going to put the basic part of this zombie down. And then in the next video, that's when we'll go and throw in the brains, the hat, the dicky bow, the neck, that kind of stuff, okay? So we're going to see how it goes with like a two-piece drawing tutorial. It's going to be a bit weird if you only do the pre-recorded session. So you kind of have to do this bit first. But yeah, let me go and show you which colours that I'm going to use today. Now, the original zombie was in like a sky blue and a blue colour, but I just wanted to mix things up a little bit. And so what I'm going with is a light and a dark version for the skin tone. So it's violet and lavender. They're my skin tones. That's what I'm going to use quite a lot of. Then getting into the teeth, you could just leave the teeth white if you wanted. Maybe put a little tickle of grey around the bottom. But I'm going to put in ochre and straw yellow in for the teeth. I just think those colours just look really nice together. That's why I'm going for that. Finish off with all the black outlines. There's quite a few little flicked outlines, black lines in here. So we're going to use that thin 1M or a 1MR pen, as well as a 3M and a 5M for colouring in. So there's a little bit of everything in there. So yeah, grab all your black pens. If you can. Finally, towards the end of the session, if we get time, we'll just throw in a little bit of blood. So for that, I'm going to use red and coral pink. You could use ruby red and red, whatever you want. Dark and light shade of each colour. So we've got the reds, yellows, purples. Okay, we're good to go now. Yeah, don't panic if you haven't got all the right sizes in the black pen. If you've got a 3M, you'll get by with a 3M. But if you've got all the other sizes, it might just make it a little bit easier for you. For today's session. Right, let's go and grab your skin tones. Pencils are for losers, so we're going to go straight in with our pens today. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit wonky. Embrace that wonkiness. Just plow through with it. Athena, are you drawing on? Is that your desk or is that what you're drawing on? Oh, okay. I thought you were going to draw on the tray. I mean, that's a great idea. If you could, that'd be fantastic. All right, skin tones. Go and grab your skin tones. Put away the dark colour. We're not going to use that dark colour. We're going to put most of our guidelines in with this light colour, okay? First bit we're going to do, and the most prominent part of this character, is the eyebrows. It's got some big rectangular eyebrows. These eyebrows are the full width of the head, but you have got some ears coming out the side as well. So don't go too close to the edge of your page. But let's go and put in these two rectangular eyebrows. Let's go for about that kind of gap. Two rectangles for our eyebrows. Nice and easy. Up top, what we're going to do is we're going to start on the edge of these rectangles. We're going to come up a little bit. We're going to go up and join in the middle. However, we do want to put a big crack in this skull. Okay, so over on this side, look. Just bring it in. Imagine that's going up to the top and across. It's not going to do that on this side, though. We are going to do it on this side, up there and across a bit. So that would be, that shape there would be the actual head. But then what we're going to do is going to take a big old crack out of the head. So we just want a nice big zigzag going from there to there. Something like that will do. Okay, let's get underneath now. I'm probably just going to zoom in a little bit here. There we go. Underneath now, let's go and put in the eyes. The main reason we're putting these eyes in, we're going to colour them in black, but we're just going to put them in so we don't bother having to colour them in later. Now, you don't want to put these, they're like we're going to put in a medium-sized D, Tash. So just a fairly medium D in there. But what we're going to do is we're just going to move it to the inside a little bit, so you've got a bit more space over here to play around with. So from about there, look, to there. So you see how it's much closer on the inside than it is on the outside there. Go and whack one in on the other side as well. The main reason we brought those eyes in a little bit is because the cheekbones are going to come from out those eyebrows as well. Now, I'm not going to put a little lump in the cheekbone. I'm just going to follow the curve of the eye round again, just simplifying this drawing as much as possible. But from about here, let's go and put a little line in that goes out there. Same on the other side. From there, just curl around the bottom of the eye. I've gone, that one's a little bit bigger, so don't worry about that. Doesn't matter how much they stick out because we are going to go back on these a little bit. Okay, we're going to move down now. We're going to go and put the jaw in, the top of the bottom lip and the jaw in. So this the top of the bottom lip is going to go from one side all the way to the other side, just here, about the same width as the eyes that we've put in there. If you can, have a slight wave to it, so it goes up, down in the middle, up there and down again. If not, just a normal straight line going all the way across will look just as good. But let's go for about here, look, with a bit of a wonky line going from one side to the other side. Let's go down a little bit. Either side, we're going to drop it down and then flick it in diagonally. So drop it down, flick in, drop it down, flick in. To help us get this next shape in, the chin shape is a really interesting shape. To help us get this in, we're just going to put in a rectangular shape. So from here, look, it's just going to go from there, just kind of come in a little bit. It's going to go down, across, join up on the other side. So do that a little bit first. And then underneath that chin, right in the middle, touching that part, we're going to put a real soft curve. So maybe from about here, look, to about there. Real soft curve. And then join these two ends up just there and just there. That's going to help us give that chin a little bit of shape. And the only reason I did it that way was just so that we can get a slight touch of symmetry in there. Not that I'm going to get too hooked up on symmetry, so don't panic too much about that. Okay, let's bring it up to do the rest of the face now. We're going to take in some lines. So this top lip, this bottom lip, sorry, the top of the bottom lip here, we're going to bring the line in and we're going to throw it up into the cheekbones that we've just done there. So bring the line in, throw a line up. Bring the line in, throw a line up. Let's whack in some teeth and ears are the last bits to do. So let's go and put in some teeth. We're going to go for some teeth just here. Look, there's a big one, small one, medium one. Nothing too even. And again, with the teeth, you can change them around. You can put curvy teeth in, triangular teeth, square, mixture of them all. Whatever you want to do in there. Okay, let's finish this off. Finish this off with a couple of capital C's for ears. And again, I'm going to simplify these a little bit. So, well, I'm going to simplify these quite a lot. We're going to just put a big old C shape just there and a big old C shape just there. With a view to, like I say, just keeping this zombie drawing nice and simple. Right, there's all our guidelines. Let me just zoom out. Just put a thumb up to the screen when you're all done, and we'll quickly move on. Cheers, Elsa. Kitty's ready as well. Thena's ready. My usual rule. Thanks, Noah. Thanks, Jovi. My usual rule, as long as half of us are ready. Donut, you ready? Yeah, right. Donut's ready. Right, there's all our guidelines. Let's go and take now the darker colour. We're going to go over this picture again. This time what we're going to do is going to throw in all the shadows. Okay, so we've done the lighter colour. Get the darker colour for your skin tone, and I'm going to zoom in. We're going to start at the top. We'll work our way down. We're going to throw in some shadows on this character. Okay, are you ready for this then? So the first bit, right around the side of the head here. Just little bits coming in like that. Now we're pretty much making that line that was underneath, you know, that original kind of line. We're making that line disappear, yeah? So we're going over the top of that line to add these shadows in. So there's our first bit. Second part, you ready for the second part? Let's go and get into those eyebrows. And what we'll do is I'll outline it, and then you can see where we're going to go. So from here, look, following over that line all the way across. In the middle, just go about halfway up. Then we'll add the shadow in. The shadow's going to live here, look. You got that? So it's just that little point in the middle. We need to bring it up to a little point. Let's go do something similar on the other side. So following it round. And then trying to bring it up into a little point in the middle there. We got that in. Let's go and colour those. Colouring in as we go along. Now generally when you're colouring in here, you are going to lose some of those initial guidelines that you had. So if you really want to keep those guidelines in, then try to leave just a little tiny gap, a little tiny bit of the page showing through. Nothing thicker than what your black line is going to be. If it's a nice thin line, you can then it helps you just kind of position your black lines later. Okay, you ready for this next bit? What we're going to do, let's go and put in a bag around the eye. So now, when we do this bag around the eye, you don't want it to go all the way to the outside edge, this cheekbone, okay? So we're going to go around that bit first, and then about halfway in just here, just going to put a thicker bag around that eye. Same on the other side. Not the same, similar on the other side. I did have one student that could draw the right hand side of a face perfectly, used to draw the left hand side really terribly, but it always looked really cool. Okay, we've got that bit in. So next bit we're going to do is on the outside edge, just here, we're just going to hook a little line around. So from about there, let's just hook a little line around until you get to that cheekbone. Up, colour it in. Similar kind of thing on the other side. Let's just hook a little line around, get to that cheekbone, colour that top bit in. We can give that a lot more shape later. Remember, this colouring in stage is just about still making a mess. Just throw these colours in and hope for the best. Okay. In between the eyes, have you got space for a little W in between the eyes? So from there, look, point with a little tiny W. See if you can squeeze it in. Coming down into the nose area, we're going to put the tip of the nose, and that's going to be a curve like this. for the tip of the nose. That tip of the nose, we're going to take those two edges and we're going to bring them in as if they're pointing in towards the middle. So just a little tiny line, just like that, just like that. Just bring those two lines in on the tip of the nose. And then we're going to send that line out towards the corner of the mouth. It's not going to touch the corner of the mouth. It's just going to aim towards the corner of the mouth there. Look, see this bit aiming towards the corner of the mouth there. Bring it out a little bit like that. And then we'll take those lines back up. Those lines are going to go back up and they're going to touch the edge of the eye. So like this, look, just here, back up, touch the edge of the eye. Back up, touch the edge of the eye. What that means is then we can colour that central piece in with this darker colour now. Hopefully you can make all that work. If you're not making it work, if there's some lines that are slightly out, don't worry about it. Just keep on following the process. Things will fall into place a little bit later. Okay, what we're going to do next, let's go and jump into the ears. We've only got a couple more shadows to put in. The ears are nice and easy. I've got this really nice easy way of doing the ears. What we're going to do is we're going to take a little line going across the top like that. And we're going to do the same across the bottom, little line going across the bottom like that. Then we're going to join those two lines together, but we're going to kind of go back on ourselves, follow that curve, and then back on ourselves again. Watch what I mean by this. So back on ourselves means up here, follow the curve round, and then back out there. See how we've just created like a little sausage shape on the outside of the ear? Let's go and colour that in. This is definitely one where you might want to just leave some little lines in there if you don't know where these black lines are going to be, or if you think you've got your guidelines in just the right place. Personally, I like getting rid of them because what it means is that you can go and have free reign when you come to putting your black lines in. You can put them in wherever you want. Right, hopefully that made sense. Let's try and do the same kind of thing on the other ear. So a little line across the top, little line across the bottom. Join them together with a big old sausage shape. It's going to be like a letter C, so it's going to go back, follow the curve of the ear, another curve just there. Colour the inner ear in. We are just about there. Last little bit then above the lip is, you see these two little lines that are coming down here. Let's just thicken those out a little bit. So just there. And just here, look. Just thicken those bits out. Just a little bit. Hopefully this is all making sense. Let's get into the bottom lip and the jaw area. First bit we'll do is this little section here. Look. Just kind of going around that top lip. Sorry, it's a bottom lip. Going around the edge of that bottom lip. Same on this side. Let's down, curve it round, go back up. Just give that a little bit of a shadow. And then we'll finish off with this bottom chin. The bottom chin is looking a little bit messy at the moment, so it's got a lot of sharp corners in it. So as you go round this, what I want you to do is just go a little bit further on the outside of this line and just try and round off those edges a little bit. Okay, I'll get right in close so you can see what I mean by that. But just go a little bit outside this line and just kind of round off these edges a little bit. So you haven't really got any sharp corners. Something like that. Finish off with taking these 2 points, these 2 bits that are sticking in towards each other, and joining them together with a nice kind of like soft W shape. Look, watch this. Here we go. Around here, all the way across, round to there. Colour that bottom chin in. Bit of a tricky start. The start of a new term. I like to keep my drawings nice and simple, but we're going to test everybody out a little bit just here. Okay, so that's all the shadows, and I always like to put the shadows in first, because then you can make it look like those shadows are wrapped around the character just by how we put in all of the highlights afterwards. Right, there we go. Let's go and just whack in a little tiny shadow in the teeth. So remember those 2 colours? I'm using 2 colours in the teeth, a dark shade and a light shade. So this is ochre and straw yellow. I'm just going to put in a little bit of ochre around the bottom of each tooth. So just, there you go, just a little curve. Not much in there, but just a little curve around the bottom of each tooth. That's all you need. And then we can move over back to our lighter colour that we've used in the skin tone. So there's my 2 colours. I've already used the dark version for all the shadows. So now I'm going to get in with that lighter version. And pretty much everything that's left in here, we're going to colour in. The only bits you're not going to colour in are the eyes, which are going to be black later, and the teeth, which are going to be yellow later. Okay, but what you do have is you have loads of these like big fat 5M round bits all over the place. Every single one of those we're going to go into, and we're going to sharpen those out. So this is this technique is called cutting in. It's one of the main reasons why a lot of street artists use Posca pens, because they behave the same way as spray cans. And this is a technique they use quite a lot. So just be careful. This is all still wet down here, so careful where you touch everything. But let's go in. Let's just start outlining stuff. See how we're just getting those sharp lines in. What I really like, one of my favourite things about Posca pens is being able to get these sharp, thin lines with fat pens. So look how thin that bit is up the top there. That's looking really nice. That's what we want to go for. As we work our way across the eyebrows, we are going to lose the eyebrow shape a little bit, which is absolutely fine. But as we work our way across here, let's just start cutting out all of these lines. So remember that little W that we put in between the eyes. This is where we go over that W. Yep. Looks a bit messy at the moment, but you can just take that line, look. Really tidy up all of those shapes. Let's keep on working across. Hopefully what you'll start to see is some of the finesse coming out in your artwork, where previously you had these big fat 5M lines. You've now got these sharp little creases across that furrowed brow, really starting to pop out. Let's go down the side here. Look. Again, just chopping things out. And depending on what colours you've used, you'll find that some colours go over the top of other colours really, really well. Some not so much. So I tend to avoid like yellows and oranges with this kind of stuff, because you will have to probably give it a few coats to get an orange going over a red, or to get a yellow going over an orange will be quite tricky to do because they come through quite transparent. Lavender and violet work really nicely together. The greens, green, light green, they work really nicely together. Emerald and aqua, those kind of colours, all work really nicely together. Okay, let's work down. We've got those ears now. Let's go and sharpen off those corners on the ears. So look, just go in there, go and whack that sausage shape back in. Well, don't put it back in because it was never there before, but go and really make that sausage shape stand out there. Look. Again, using it as an opportunity to cut in at the bottom, to cut in at the top, to give you those sharp lines. Let's do something similar over on the other side. And it's always worth remembering when you're drawing with Posca pens, sometimes you have to go a little bit bigger than you think because you know that you're going to cut out. So like those corners there, I had to go quite big with those because I knew that I was going to go and chop out quite a lot of that violet. Now getting into across the nose, one of the tricky bits we've got is just in here. Like you see in there, we've already got a sharp point underneath the eye. So the reality is that point there, it's already sharp. We are going to lose that sharpness, but we can bring it back later when we put the violet or the shadow colour back over the top. So you are going to lose that, but we are going to gain some sharp points everywhere else, okay? So let's go and outline that bit. So we're going to round that eye up into there. Don't panic about the fact that it all looks a bit messy in there, because as we come down, we're going to get those sharp bits coming back again. Look how sharp that is, just coming out the side of the nose there. That's perfect. Let's go and colour that bit in. See if you can do something similar over on the other side. So you can put that round bit in, go underneath the eye bag. You're going over that sharp point that you put in because you know you're going to put it back there later. Sharpen out that shadow that points to the corner of the mouth. Colour in that cheekbone. Up in the nose, let's go and whack that nose in. And then we've got all of that top lip. Let's tidy that up and colour in all that top lip. Just remembering to go round the teeth, yeah? So we're just going to tidy these bits up here. Go all the way across, making sure that we go around all those teeth. Now take your time with your colouring in. Nice and easy with it. There's no rush. There you go, that's what it should look like. Last little bit then is let's go round the bottom jaw. Let's just call it a jaw. Let's go round the jaw. And the only bits to pay attention to are these little two pointy bits just coming in here. They're the little bits that we want to be sharp. Everything else we can just soften off really nicely. So let's go around there, sharp in there. Everything else we can soften off. Let's colour all of that in. Now, like I said, this is quite a basic version of this zombie. In the second video, you will get an opportunity to add loads more finesse to it, loads of extra little details. So we will get it to looking like it could be a finished piece today. But if you can, just keep your ears and eyes peeled for Saturday when the second part of this this drawing will get released. You can finish this off. Okay, 2 more bits of colouring in, and then we'll quickly have a little look at everybody's artwork. So just go and grab the yellow. We're going to go and put that yellow over the top of that ochre for those teeth. Don't worry about it looking a little bit messy. This is going to have a nice big outline around it to hold those teeth together. And that last little bit, do you remember those 2 lines that we went over, that sharp bit that went into the center of the eye there? Let's go and bring those ones back now. So again, we're going to just take that shadow color again, and one last time, let's just put this line back in. Awesome. Right, let's quickly have a look, see how everyone's getting on, because we are running a little bit over where we need to be, but I really like the shape and the look of this piece. So yeah, quick scan. Let's if you're up for it, if you've got a piece that's ready to be shown. Jovi, that's looking great. Shadows look absolutely perfect. Everything's spot on in there. Nice work. Thank you, Jovi. Thomas, how are you getting on with yours? That's looking fantastic. Got some flies coming out there as well. Nice wonky chin that you've gone for. Awesome stuff. Well done, Thomas. Donuts. That's looking good, Donut. Absolutely spot on with the shadows again. Yeah, all looks good. Kitty, yeah, you gone. What colours are they? Are they like gone for like an orange and a red? They're very similar, aren't they? Kitty's going to dig out her colours. Orange and bright yellow. They are very similar. They're coming through quite similar on camera. Let's see what it looks like when the black lines go through, because then the colours should pop out a little bit more. But I love that you've gone. Yeah. No, you've got to try these things out. It's just going to be a nice subtle shadow. That's all. It's going to look okay. Yeah, and I love the sharp teeth that you put in there as well. Great idea. Awesome stuff. Cheers, Kitty. Elsa's gone with the aqua and emerald, my favourite colour combo. Looks really good as well. Got a really kind of like chimp look to it as well. I'm really liking how that's coming along in those colours. Awesome stuff. Yeah, if you get to the second video as well, it's going to have like pink brains coming out of that top bit, which is going to make those aqua colours look amazing. Tash gone with the traditional colours. That's sky blue and light blue. It's a really nice combo. Neat piece of work. Shadows are looking spot on in there. Nice work. Thank you, Tash. Noah, spot on, mate. Absolutely spot on. Looks like a nice big piece as well. Give it to get some nice black outlines in there. Right, let's carry on then with it, shall we? Let's go and put some extra lines on. Well done, everybody. Everyone's doing loads better than I thought. I thought this might be tricky, but obviously I'm not pushing you guys hard enough. Let's go a little bit faster then for the second half of the session, shall we? Let's get in with... we're going to put some black outlines on first, okay? So the process is we'll put some black outlines on. We'll see how it looks. We'll cut out some of those black outlines. We'll also put some extra little wrinkles and things in here as well, which again we'll cut out. But yeah, let's go start at the top, work our way down. I'm going to use my 3M, my PC 3M for these outlines. You use whatever you're comfortable with, but I think a 3M is about the right kind of thickness for these. So let's go start off with those eyebrows first. Now, the first thing we're going to do with the eyebrows is don't go around the whole eyebrow. You remember we did a rectangle? Don't do that. You want to leave a little break up the top. So it's going to look like this. Look, starting about there, around the outside of the eyebrow. Try to remember where all the lines kind of joined in with each other. Up there. Point towards each other, but leave a little gap. That's what we want to do. Now, don't forget, your paint is still quite soft. It's dry to the touch, but it's still soft. It's not fully set, so just try and draw nice and gently on there. And let's go over with a second line to make it all really wonky. Remember, wonky lines are our friends. They help us out a lot with our drawings. Especially in a zombie drawing. They're going to look great in a zombie drawing. Let's go and do something similar over on the other side. So remember, you're just going around the outside. Just hit the top of the eye. Just look for all those cue points. Point them together. Now, when I say cue points, what I mean by that is as you're coming down here, you're kind of looking for, right, where does the eye go? So I know to curve in when I get to that eye point. Just trying to hit all those important shadows. Okay, that bit was nice and easy. Let's go and do the top bit. We're just going to go from one side all the way across that zigzag over to the other side. Again, be careful with where you position your hands so that you don't smudge anything. Not that a smudge would look too bad on a picture like this. You'll be amazed at what you can get away with. But there you go. One line to get that line in. Second line to make it wonky and make it as inconsistent as all your other lines. That's the aim. So here we go, second line, curve that around there. Strong intersections. You know where two lines join each other? Like in a T-junction, that's an intersection. So those parts of the lines, you usually want to have a little bit thicker. It's where the shadows live, so we always go thicker with those bits. Awesome stuff. Right, let's go and do the eye now. So we've got those black eyes. We've actually got white eyes. So outline the eye, put in a little circle. This is going to be the reflection, so we don't have to bother colouring that in again. And then colour that eye in. Do something similar over on the other side. Outline the eye, put in the white dot. You can always make these dots smaller or bigger if they need to be a bit more even. Don't think about it too much, just chuck it in and then make corrections as you go along. That looks okay, maybe just get a little bit smaller there. Okay, we're only focusing again on important lines on here. So let's go around that top part of the nose. That top part of the nose, we're going to go around that curve. We're going to flick in twice. So round there, look, a little flick in there. Round there, little flick in. Get how streaky my line work is. If you get streaks coming up like that, just wait for it to dry, go over it again. Don't try and go over it while it's wet, you'll just make it even streakier. Wait for it to dry. Do that, and then go down to the edge. Just there. Try and taper those off a little bit at the end. We are going to come in with those colours to taper them off even more, but the more tapering you can do now, the easier it will be. Okay, right, let's go and work on the outside edge of the eye. This is kind of where the cheekbone is. So you know that we've got this like big highlight coming up in here, yeah? We're going to start on the underside of that. Maybe down here, look. So just kind of start there, join it, and then go up into that eye. Start there, up into that eyebrow. Same on the other side. Down here, follow that highlight around, then up into the eye. Okay, tricky bit now. Let's go and put this, the top of the bottom lip in. We don't want to move too far down. We're not going to do the whole jaw yet because we don't want to smudge anything. But just across here, look. Your cues here, the bits that you want to try and hit at the bottom of the teeth. Around there, a little flick in. That's the line you want. Do it once, it's going to look a mess. Do it a second time. It's either going to look twice as messy or it's going to tidy it up a little bit. Around the teeth, nice and easy around the teeth. Let's just go and outline those. Remember, strong intersections as those lines join in with that bottom lip. Just make those parts of the line a little tiny bit thicker. We'll finish this top part of the head with those two lines that come up. See where these shadows are? Two lines that come up, and they should just tuck in to that cheekbone there. One on that side, one on that side. There's an intersection at the top of that line. There's an intersection at the bottom of that line. So the top and the bottom of those lines need to be a little tiny bit thicker. It's a double-ended thick off rather than a double-ended flick off. Before we get down and do the rest of the bottom of the jaw, let's just quickly go back into those ears. We want to outline the outside part of the ears. Then we're going to put a few little flicked like spider legs on the inside of the ears. So just around here, let's just go and whack a little line all the way around the outside. Wonky as you like. And then watch this at the top. At the top, we're going to flick this line. It's going to start about halfway up your sausage. Start about there. And just continue that line all the way round. Down at the bottom, let's do the same kind of thing at the bottom, just right near the tip of your sausage here. Just take that line, just continue it in there. And we should have what looks like an ear with a bit of a rim around it. Let's put some extra little bits of furniture in there. So we're going to put a hole and we're going to flick a few lines. So the hole, let's put the hole down here, look. And then let's flick a few lines. Just one across the top, I think will do. Coming out there. Oh, what the hell. Let's indulge ourselves with an extra line coming around that hole as well. So there you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 lines for the ear. Let's go and do the same on the other side. So we're going to line number 1, go around the outside edge. Do it once to get your eye in. Do it twice to make it wonky. Lines 2 and 3, we're using your sausage shape. So about halfway up your sausage, just start on that line. Bring it in. Tip of the sausage down the bottom, start on that line. Bring it in until you hit the head. Whack in a little hole. And then our last 2 lines, one coming from the top, just flicking down. One coming from above the hole, just going around it. And again, don't worry that these lines are a little bit fat on the ends. We're going to taper those in a minute. Okay. We're doing good. Before we move any further down, I just want you to put one little line in. It's going to go in between the eyes. Can you squeeze this little line in? A little curve going across the top of the nose like that first. And then this line coming from the middle, hitting the middle of that W, going up there. Like an upside down T. See if we can have that little shape in there. Last little line around that bottom chin. We're going to flick a few little lines around the eyes as well. Yeah, we're going to flick a few little lines around the eyes as well. I just wanted to get those important lines in first. And so we've got all our important lines in. So we're going to put each eyeball or each eye socket, we're going to throw in 3 wrinkles. Okay. Here's our first wrinkle. It's going to come from here. Go in about there. There's our first wrinkle. Second wrinkle, it's almost like you take a little break from that one. You take a little break, you bring it back up, and then you hook it on to the inside of the eye. So just there, look, take a break, bring it back, and then hook it into the eye there. Last little wrinkle. Just there, nothing too much, just a little tiny wrinkle, and we're going to taper those lines out in a little while. It's going to do something similar on the other side. Two more little lines, and then we're going to start doing some cutting in, adding some texture. This is where the artwork's really going to start coming alive. First little line, 3 more little lines. First little line is bottom lip, so just a line going across here. So round about there. A line going across for that bottom lip. Either side of that line, we're going to come in a little bit and we're going to send some little diagonal lines out towards the corner of the chin here. So from about there, look, just send a little line out that way. From there, send a little line out that way. Okay, let's do a quick job on cutting in now. So we're going to take those original 2 colours that we had for our skin. We're going to find the fat end of every single black line, and we're going to taper it off until we get some real thin, sharp lines. So I'm going to start off with my lighter colour first. Look, see these bits across the top? Let's go and taper those off, look, like that. We get these nice sharp points coming out. This is where you really start adding a bit of finesse to your drawing. That line that's coming up in the middle between the eyes. Look at that, just sharpen it all off. I'm going to stick with that same colour. You just got to make a decision on whether it's better to use the darker colour or the lighter colour to taper out your lines. Some are obvious. Those ones we did just before were very obvious which colour you got to use. These ones that kind of straddle the dark and the light shade, you've got to probably just use your initiative on which colour is going to help you taper those off the best. So yeah, just spend a few seconds, just find every single fat line. Get into that nose look. Cutting them out into the cheekbone. Under the eyes. And then finally that little line down at the mouth. Just chopping these little bits of line out. Sometimes it's okay to go quite fat with your lines because you know you're going to make them a lot thinner later. Let's go and get in with the darker colour. Let's do the same kind of exercise with the darker colour. Just chopping everything out. So around that eye, on the inner eyes. Got a couple of little lines in the ears. Every single line, go and chop it out. How are we doing for time? Okay, whilst you've got that colour in your hand, that darker colour, let's go and add a couple of bags under the eyes. So just here, look, just go and put in a big old curve across there. Don't panic that it looks a little bit horrible at the moment. That's fine. It's allowed to look a little bit horrible. At the top here, let's go and put a big old T shape with that. Again, knowing, there you go, little T up there, knowing that we're going to cut it out. In the nose, just underneath the nose, put another line going straight down like that. Whilst we're waiting for those to dry, let's go and have a little bit of fun with a load of spots and dots all around, especially around the chin. Now remember what I always say about when you're putting these little dots and things in, try to clump them together as much as possible. They're going to look a lot more natural if you do that. Maybe a few around the head as well, look. Once you've got those lines in, so those original lines that we put in, they should be dry by now. Go and grab the lighter skin tone and watch this. We're going to go into those eye bags. Look, see those eye bags, how they're just kind of really boring lines. What we'll do is we'll taper the bottom of that and create this really nice shadow. So it just looks like a little kind of ridge in the skin. And again, it's just that tapering out. Look what a difference it's made to those eyes. You can go crazy with just kind of adding these lines in and cutting them out. That T shape that we did at the top, we're going to cut those lines out as well. So watch this, look, just up and across. So we get that kind of a shape. Look at that lovely little crease. That we get in there now. Little tiny, tiny shadow across the top there. Where else are we? That little bit inside the nose there. Let's go and cut that out. You kind of want the bottom part to be round, top part to be sharp. So let's try with that kind of a shape. Look. Let's really wrap this up with a couple of little reflections. So that light colour again, the little reflections in the ears, little teardrop shape, look, like that, and like that. Again, you're going to taper those out in a little while. Finish off with your black pen. We're going to flick a few little bits of graining in the teeth and then a few little black spots everywhere. And then we're going to wrap this one up. So a little bit of graining in the teeth, look. So just flick in a few little lines around. Put in some little spots. Remembering again to just go in and clump things together a little bit. Just putting a few little spots in the ear. Let's wrap this up now. Okay. I like how this is looking. There you go. This is first stage of our drawing. So we'll get into the second video on Saturday just to finish off putting some brains in, a little hat, bow tie, maybe even some blood. We didn't get a chance to put in any blood in today, but there you go. That is quite a nice, fantastic looking start. Loads of practice for cutting in just there. Right, time is up. I don't like to keep anybody longer than an hour because I think by the time an hour's up, I like usually to be finished so that nobody gets bored. Maybe one day we'll do a 6-hour lesson. I don't know. We'll see. Right, let's see how everybody's getting on with theirs. Hold it up to screen when you're ready. So I think, Thomas, you were up first. That's looking awesome, mate. Nice work. Shadows are looking all good. Outlines looking strong. I like the fact that you've got a bit more white showing in the eyes as well. That looks really nice. Love that. Cheers, Thomas. Well done. Jovi, that's looking fantastic. Love the 3 little teeth in the centre there. Nice and rounded and flicked off with the graining in there on the teeth. Perfect stuff. You could probably afford, Jovi, on yours to take some of the lighter colour, the light green that you've got, and bring some of that into what looks like the English green on the outside as well. So put some little spots in there. But that's looking really good, mate. Nice work. Yeah, spot on. Cheers, Jovi. Noah, how are you getting on? Look at that. Really, really good. I like the fact the little reflections are right in the middle of the eyes. It just makes it look like the character's looking straight through you. But everything else is spot on. I love the big ears, the teeth. I love a tooth right in the middle. Not many people have a tooth right in the middle, but I do really like that. Nice one. Everything looks flicked off beautifully. Can't wait to get the second half of this done. Awesome work. Nice one, Noah. Thank you very much. Donut, how did you get on? You went with blue as well. You're leaving one eye white. I hope you are, because it looks quite creepy with having one eye white and one eye black. Maybe you got some ideas for that. Can't wait to see. Yeah, mate. Donut. Donut, that's disgusting. I love it. I can't wait to see what you do. Make sure your mum shares that with me, yeah? Nice one. And yeah, just any kind of therapy bills in the future, just forward them on. We'll sort that out. Nice work, Donut. Looks great. Athena, how are you getting on with yours? They're spot on. Have they got little? Is that a signature or little curly bits of hair for eyebrows? I like the idea of them being eyebrows. They're really cool. Nice work, mate. The teeth look really golden on yours as well. Awesome. Kitty, yours is looking good as well. The orange. Actually, it's starting to work now. We've got some of those black lines in. I can imagine it's quite difficult to taper out some of those black lines with the orange. The main trick there is try and give it a nice light coat. As in, like, don't press too hard. The lighter you press, the more likelihood you're going to get of having a thick coat. Do it once, let it dry. Do it a second time. That's the easiest way to kind of build up those layers. Yeah. Yeah, just making sure it dries to get those tapered edges in. But yeah, it's looking really good, and brave choice of colour. Nice work, Kitty. Elsa, how did you get on? Look at that. Didn't notice quite how kind of one eyebrow is like a bit more swollen than the other. I'm liking the way that's looking. Yeah, beautiful stuff. Shape of the chin's looking great as well, and beautiful line work. Really nice line work. Thank you, Elsa. Awesome stuff. Tash, how did you get on with yours? Again, lovely with the line work. Really enjoying this picture. Thanks for picking it out, Tash. It's been a good one to do, and a bit of a test as well. But loads of opportunity to cut in. It looks like you've done absolutely spot on with all the little tiny shadows in there as well. Yeah, perfect. Nice work, Tash. Thank you very much. Cool. Right, well done, everybody. Thank you very much for sticking with me for this extra few minutes. I'm back again tomorrow for Doodle Club, where we'll draw another zombie. Maybe some kawaii, creepy style zombies. We'll see. Same time tomorrow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.